Hey, what's up guys? Just gonna run through a quick little walkthrough of what I'm doing to do a little product photography here. Right now I'm doing one of a Xbox controller, just simple, testing some new light, using my flash Sb-28 with Yongnuo trigger on the bottom and an umbrella bracket to hold the umbrella. So it's a 43-inch shoot through umbrella, pretty big, too big to get all in frame, but I just put it in the umbrella bracket as I will do now. And so now I'm shooting through the umbrella. It's kind of hard to get in the frame, but just like that. So I'm shooting through because I'm getting really close to this Xbox controller. So I'm just using my 35mm f1.8 and just gonna take some pictures. And typically for a product photography, you want to shoot at the lowest aperture that you can, or like the highest number, so like f32 or f22 or something like that, to get everything in focus. But the distance right here, is a little too close to get everything in focus, so I would have to back it up and use a longer lens to get the more depth of field. So f22 really isn't gonna matter too much. I'd have to use pretty high power on the flash as well. So I just kind of stuck with like f11 at about half power or something. And I've already done this before, so I'm just running through what I did. So, and I'll show the images at the end. So ISO 100, shooting raw format, f8, and I usually use a remote to so that I can be kind of wireless. Put the receiver on, or the transmitter. And then there's the remote. So fully zoomed out to accommodate the large area of the light modifier. I'm going at just half power. And what I'm going to do is get really close. So that one turned out pretty well. Just readjust here. So I'm getting really close to get a lot of soft light in the picture. If I backed up, it would be harder light and there'd be less light hitting it. So I'm just gonna see what I got. So that's pretty good. I'll just move the camera and show it. Pretty hard to see. Hold on. Okay, there we go. That's what I got. Pretty great. And I'll show you what happens when I back it up. And as you can see, there's really soft edges right there, and there's really no hard light. I'll show you what happens when I use just the bare flash, bare bulb, kind of. Oh. Roughly about the same distance. And it's probably going to be a lot harsher light, which it is, so I need to stop it down a little bit. About 2 stops, just because the umbrella cuts down a couple stops of light, just like 1 or 2. But so let's see what that turned out. Now it's alright. I'll just show the finished image right there. I won't use it, but I'm just showing you what happens. See a lot really harsh shadows on this side as opposed to that. So yeah, that's the umbrella. And so then now I'll show you post-production, basic workflow, and we'll get on with that. Hey, what's up guys? Just running through the workflow of the Lightroom post-production part of the product photography session that I had. So before I showed you my setup of what I just put some foam core down and put a Xbox controller on top of it with a umbrella flash right above it, just out of frame, and it led to some pretty nice shadow down at the bottom. Anyway, so this is my Lightroom workflow kind of thing. Everyone has a similar one or a little bit different, but mine is pretty much just import them, and I have them archived in a folder, and I attach metadata with a copyright to them with, it'll show up on Flickr, it'll say copyrighted by Connor Finley, and so I apply metadata, archive it, and then I go to here and I just do the rating system, which is pretty much, in Lightroom you can rate each picture 1 through 5 stars, and what people do, as well as myself, is they would rate them starting with 1 all the way to 5 to kind of filter through the best images. So first you would look at composition, and you would see in a thumbnail view like this from far away, which is what you see on online. People see thumbnails, they don't see the full picture usually, and if it looks good compositionally in this grid view, in a thumbnail view, then they'll want to click on it to view the large view. So if it looks good in thumbnail view, you should probably rate it a 1 star. And I don't have many images, so I just kind of picked the one that looked best without a big shadow. And the lighting was another thing, the direction of the lighting. And then, second stars is when you would zoom in and see details and see if you had focus. So what I would start with is pretty much these controls over here. I would start from bottom or top to bottom. I just usually do these the basic settings. I mess with the tone curve a little bit. I usually don't mess with these luminance, saturation, and color hue settings. With split toning, I usually don't do detail, like adding sharpening already. I wait to do that in Photoshop. Lens corrections I usually do, and I don't usually do post crop vignetting or add grain. So I usually just close those out, and I don't do camera calibration with tints and everything. So I just leave it kind of simple. And my computer's a little slow because of the screen capturing, but I'll just try to bear with it. So I just adjusted white balance. I got it a little wrong at first, so I had to adjust it back in Photoshop afterwards, so I did that. But here's what I started out with. So I ended up with this shot. It's a little bit more blue, but that's what I ended up with for the Lightroom, just editing the exposure and colors. And the rest would be left to Photoshop, like spot removal and stuff like that. So then I did a rule of thirds crop, and I think it looks pretty good. Looks like a message board kind of picture that someone would have, but I just had that crop. So what I did is I took this image in Photoshop, and I applied all the spot removal, the sharpening, editing the white balance again, and then I had that. I would save that image, and then I would just crop it down to that same crop that I just had, so I wouldn't have to start over with this image, and that's what I did. So this is the final image, and so this is the cropped one, so I just had the same picture, just cropped it to what I had in Lightroom, and that's what I ended up with. So that was pretty much the walkthrough of this whole product shot, and I think it went pretty well. I don't do much product photography shots, but I like them, and so it was pretty cheap. I just already had an Xbox controller. I just got a $3 piece of foam core from a craft store, and I just had my flash and umbrella, and I just went from there. A lot of pictures I find can be a new you can think of them differently when you make them better in post-production. Like, you shouldn't give up on a photo until you've gone through post-production, because you can make it look pretty cool. And I hope you like this video. Watch the other ones if you want to. Thanks for watching. Bye.